What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Bootcamp Day 11. Today, we're going to keep it super simple. I know it's Friday. I don't want to keep you guys around too long. We're just going to be doing our weekly check-in, seeing how you guys are doing, and then we're also going to be going over some of the trades that I took this week, the reasoning behind them. But yeah, as always, before we hop into it, make sure you guys are doing your daily check-in. Comment down below letting me know that you guys are still rocking with me until the very end of this bootcamp. While you're at it, also make sure to click that like button as well as that subscribe and that bell icon so you are notified every single time I upload a brand new bootcamp video. But let's hop right into it. All right, so let's just start off with the check-in. I know that so far we have 10 videos up and there has been a lot of information that I've provided already. And I highly suggest, if you guys haven't gone through and watched these videos, I definitely suggest that you do that this weekend. If you guys have questions about anything that I've gone over previously, leave those down in this comment section. I will be reading them over the weekend. Maybe sometime next week in one of the videos, I can go back and review something that you guys had questions about. But I do highly suggest that you guys go through these. Also, let me know, how has your guys' trading improved since the bootcamp? Has it helped you out in your trading? Has it not helped you out in your trading? Are you still seeing the same results? Let me know how I can help you in these future videos. Hopefully it has been helping you guys out a lot though. But yeah, let's just hop into some of the trades that I ended up taking this week. We can actually start with the trades from today. And I'm not gonna go over every single trade that I took this week, but I wanna go over my favorites. So the very first one was actually today on SPY. Now, the way that I found this level was, as we can see, if we zoom out to a higher time frame, I really like to use SPX for gap fills. So as we can see with SPX over here, there is this nice little gap fill from this low all the way down to this low. If we just mark this point right here, that 44.63 all the way down to this low point right here at 44.43, we can see that we have a nice little gap on SPX. Now, typically when gaps are filled, the opposing line, support or resistance, is going to act as a bounce or a reject. So because this was a gap to the downside, if SPX broke below, we should be looking for a bounce at this 44.43.64. So that was my gap fill on SPX. And as we can see, we have that little Fortnite llama formation right here before the continuation up. Anyways, so I told everybody that I was going to be watching this 43.64 for a potential bounce on SPX. Now, we can use SPX to trade SPY. Also, at the same time, SPY had a really important level around, it was like 443. So as price started dipping down towards that 443, which you can see was a gap fill on SPY as well, I saw SPX had already filled the gap. So as a result, I tried some longs on SPY and was willing to add all the way down into SPY's gap fill all the way down at 443. And we pretty much smacked the exact bottom on this trade, and SPY went straight up from there. So it was a very simple trade, just SPX filling the gap, SPY getting really close to filling the gap. The risk to reward was definitely there. So that was the whole reason behind why I took that trade. So that was just one of the trades that I ended up taking today. Now, I want to go over a trade that I took on Monday, which was also on SPY. This was using the Fibonacci retracement. So if we zoom out and we go on over to Monday, on Monday, what I was seeing was price actually came up. So I had this rejection zone up here. If we take the previous day's high on the Fibonacci retracements down to the low, I actually had this rejection zone up at 449.6. So with this trade, I saw that SPY came up and it hit that 449.6 and then started to move to the downside. Now, I wasn't able to catch it up here. Unfortunately, I was actually watching it a little higher towards that 450 to 450.4, but price ended up rejecting that 50% retracement. So I started looking at this and I was like, okay, price just rejected off of a level, a key level, and we saw a pretty hard pullback. Let me look for a potential lower high to then get short. So as price came up to that 61.8% retracement, as always, I break it down to a smaller time frame, 1 minute or 2 minute, and I watch it very closely. So if we head on over to Monday and we look at the price action right at that area, what do we see? Price comes up, hits the 61.8% retracement on the 1 minute time frame. Look at that elevated volume with that upper wick right there. So as a result, I ended up getting short and we were able to catch this thing down into the new low of day. And then Bookmap from there pretty much told us to exit because there was a lot of orders sitting there on ES. So that was another trade that I ended up taking this week. Two trades that I ended up taking this week were actually at the same exact spot. Now with these trades, same thing, it was a Fibonacci retracement. If we zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, and I talked about this level a lot going into it. So if we take this low right here to the high point right there, and then this low to this high right here, we had a Fibonacci cluster plus 445 support at this area right here. So 445.3 was my key area. So as we can see on Tuesday, that was the first time I traded it. Wednesday was the second time I traded it. So if we go to a 5-minute time frame. Now, as price was coming down towards this level, this was when I personally ended up taking the trade. Could have had a much larger win off of this. And honestly, going back and journaling through it, there was no reason why I should have sold this. I should have just kept the remainder of my stop loss right below this 61.8% retracement right here. But hey, we live and we learn, right? So we have a nice little move to the downside on SPY, and we have this doji right here with elevated volume on the 5-minute. As always, I am using smaller time frames to snipe my entries, but as price started coming down towards the retracement, that is when I ended up getting long with my original stop loss below this low. Obviously, as we popped to the upside and we got close to that 8 EMA, I was taking profits off, and then eventually was stopped out on the remainder of my position because I moved my stop loss up. Again, what I should have done was just kept my stop loss right below these fibs right here, and I should have let it run because it came down and hit that 445.27 to a penny, and then just ripped to the upside for the rest of the day all the way up to 449. So that was the first time I took this level. The next time, I actually made the same mistake. Now, the next day, I took the same exact trade and made the same exact mistake. I actually sat here a lot longer this day and waited for price to come down into my area. But as we see, we got the same exact reaction as the day before. Price came down, it hit the fib, elevated volume, and then this 5-minute candlestick right here, we entered slightly before. So if we were to break it down to a 1-minute time frame, like 2 minutes before this, but price dipped down to 445, immediately got bought back up, reclaimed the level with very heavy volume. So again, same thing, took profits on the way up, and eventually was stopped out on the remainder of my position as I moved the stop loss up. I'm not gonna lie and say that I caught this entire move. I really wish I did, but I did make the same mistake 2 days in a row. So what I should have done was, because I already took a decent amount of profits off the table, was just left my stop loss right below this low and then let the remainder of the position still run. That way I could have taken advantage of this move right here. So yes, I definitely fumbled the bag on those 2 trades this week. Could have been just massive days back to back, but the market will offer new opportunity next week. Now, going into yesterday, I actually took a pretty decent loss off of this trade over here. So what I was seeing with SPY was that price had this pretty big move to the upside. We're just gonna go ahead and delete all that. SPY had this pretty big move to the upside, and what I was looking for was a pullback for a higher low. Now, at the same time, I took this pivot low to pivot high right here. You can see that we had this bounce at 449.84. We had the VWAP sitting at 450.2. Also, psychological support at 450. Remember, those intervals of 5 are very important. And also, there was this fair value gap. So we had a lot of confluence in this area right here for me to enter long. Now, as price came down towards VWAP, I noticed that we had a pretty strong reaction. A lot of buyers came into the market. That's where I entered my first position as we started holding VWAP. And then I entered my second position as price dipped below the 50% retracement and reclaimed 450. Now, with this trade, I just oversized a little bit, so a little larger of a loss than what I would have liked. But as price started breaking down below my invalidation point, that is where I got out of the trade. Again, identifying where's your invalidation point. If we break it, we get out of the trade. I didn't even lose 20% on this trade. I think it was around like 15% that I ended up losing on this position right here. So literally a paper cut as far as percentages. I just went a little heavier size because I liked all the confluence, but hey, it is okay. So when I went back and I journaled and I started looking through, okay, why do I think that this was a losing trade? The reason I think this ended up being a losing trade was because we could see that SPY had this move to the upside, and then we tried to bull flag right here on the 5-minute time frame, right? We could see buyers held it here, buyers held it here. We came up and we tried to break, but that bull flag broke down. So because bull flags are a continuation pattern, price breaking below that bull flag should give us a warning. So that was warning number 1. Warning number 2, these are the 2 reasons why I think this trade went against me. But warning number 2 was the fact that the 15-minute time frame, we had this nice move to the upside and then gravestone doji with pretty much equal volume right here. Then we had a little less volume right here. And then as this 15-minute candle closed, we had elevated selling volume. So those are the 2 reasons why I believe that trade went against me. But either way, I really like the confluence there. I saw the risk to reward, so it was worth taking it in my opinion. And then the final trade that we're going to go over is going to be on, it was SLB, the swing trade that we ended up taking. So we actually ended up talking about this trade on Tuesday and the whole reason why I liked it. When I swing trade, I only liked swinging squeeze setups. So because we had this nice squeeze on the TTM squeeze, as always, I want to look for an entry as close to the daily 21 EMA as possible. Unfortunately, got a little later of an entry because I hit it earlier in the day and I wasn't paying attention. But as I came back in the afternoon and noticed that we hit that 21 EMA and had a strong reaction off of it, that's why I ended up entering long, and we were actually able to catch a nice like 53% gain overnight on this swing. But yeah, that's going to wrap up today. Just a quick little check-in, see how everybody's doing, as well as going over some of the trades that I took this week. As always, if you guys do have questions about anything we've gone over in this bootcamp previously, make sure to leave them down in the comments. But if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to this channel with that bell notification on. I do go live here on this YouTube channel every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys tune in, keep me company there, give you guys a completely free watch list for the day, and you get to watch me draw my levels. But yeah, everybody have an amazing Friday evening. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night because I am going to have a very special video up for you guys for that bootcamp. And on Sunday, I actually have a really fire video as well. So make sure you guys tune in 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I will see you guys then.